Stories podcast. This episode is brought to you by WODproof. WODproof just launched a new program to help pro members improve their mobility and their range of motion while becoming better overall athletes. It's called WODproof Bionic, and it tracks and analyzes movement in real time with the goal of providing unique mobility plans for every user. It's awesome. And if you look at the link in our show notes, you'll get a free trial. So make sure to check that out. Also, this show is brought to you by X Endurance Sports Supplements. X Endurance is one of the only products out there, or one of few products out there, that's approved by Informed Sport for professional athletes. So you know that when you're putting these products in your body, you're putting the right things in there in terms of performance, especially for athletes that get tested. So make sure you check out the show notes as well. There's a discount for X Endurance in the YouTube show notes and in the podcast show notes. Back to the show with James Sprague. It's Sprague, right?
You got it. What up, y'all? Thanks for having me, Jared.
Dude, thanks for coming, man. I remember watching you last year. Of course, I had seen you come up in the teen division, but last year at semifinals, and just seeing your energy, and I'm like, man, that guy has a lot of energy. Like, is it real? Is that like all the time? And every time I've interacted with you, it's like 100% energy. Like, when do you shut it off? Like, does it ever shut off?
Well, yeah, I would say it's very real because I think that, I just love life. I'm a guy who loves life. That's simply put. I love adventuring. I love working out. I love people. I love God. I love everything that is in my life. I love eating. So I'm just enthusiastic about it. And I think that's like, I don't know where it came from. I guess my dad, he's the same way. He's always so happy to see people, and he's my role model. So I guess if it came from anywhere, it's from him because, I'm birthed from Pa. So yeah, man, that's kind of where I got it. The sport has been so good for my energy too, because it leaves me drained and then leaves me wanting more at the same time. So it kind of shuts off at night after all the workouts are done.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta come down at some point. Otherwise, you just can't sleep.
Oh, for sure. And I've been taking use of naps lately too. I've never been a big napper, and now I'm like, oh, these things are great.
Are we talking about 15-minute naps, or are we talking about like 2-hour naps?
Oh, usually I don't let myself go over like 30 to 45 because I feel like I'm being unproductive. But sometimes being unproductive is the most productive thing you can do when you need to like let your mind relax.
For sure. Yeah, that can preach. You are a full-time athlete. So when you talk about being unproductive, are you in school? Are you working?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing both. But they're not at the capacity that like regular people would say they're doing school, or regular people say they're working. Because my goal is for CrossFit to be my full-time job. And right now it's still getting there. So I'm still on the process to make it fully sustainable for me to have an income and do it full time. But I pursue it like it's my full-time job and my full-time dream. For school, I'm just doing part-time. I'm studying business and nutrition. And that's just online school from back at home in Seattle. And then I'm doing, my job is online remote coaching. As you know, lots of coaches out there just trying to make people better in the CrossFit space and in the fitness space in general. So I do online remote coaching, and I actually have a couple one-on-one clients in person here in Florida that I've had the privilege to train at this gym we've been training at, and now starting to train them at our new Brute HQ. Actually, tonight's our first session with my clients at the new gym.
That's so sick, man. How long you been in Fort Myers, right?
So we're close. We're in Naples, which is 30 minutes south. Yeah, okay. Super close.
How do you like it?
Oh man, it's a dream come true. It's been just over 2 months now, living on my own with my roommate Ethan, who's another stud that moved down here to pursue his dream in CrossFit. And the coolest part is just like being like on my own and learning so many responsibilities that I may or may not have had at home when living with my parents, and like still being at like a young age, but like feeling like I'm growing up super quick, doing all these things on my own, relying on myself, and just, pursuing something that I never knew I could pursue in this fashion. Like I never knew I'd be moving for CrossFit or doing things like this, stepping out of my comfort zone when I started 7 years ago. So this has been a really cool thing that still feels like a dream come true.
That's really cool, man. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, moving out is super interesting because it's been a little while for me, but I remember, being young and being like, man, I'll be better on my own, and you move out on your own and you run out of toilet paper and you're like, oh,
what do I do?
Yeah, I didn't think about this, like
go grab some leaves.
Yeah, dad was taking care of me, like you run out of soap or like you don't have like a washer and dryer. You're like, I didn't even think about these things.
For sure. Literally, I like making a grocery list, as simple as it sounds. I'm like, what do I need? And then you have to think of like all the things that you need. And it's like, it's so easy, but it's so like laborious. You just do it so much once you live on your own, and it just becomes second nature. And I don't have anyone to really tell me no here. So it's like, hey, I do whatever I want with the repercussions that I'm going to get.
Yeah. It looks like you're surrounded by a pretty good group of people, though. Some good leadership in Matt Torres. And that's great, man. You played sports, right?
Oh, I played just about everything before CrossFit.
Okay. What was your favorite sport outside of CrossFit?
I would pick wrestling, baseball, or soccer. Those three. And I did those three for the longest too. Well, also like swimming was up there. If there was like a sleeper pick outside of those three, it would be swimming.
So you're a freaking athlete.
Oh my gosh. I guess I've just done it all. I've tried. Some things I failed, like basketball. We won't talk about that.
That's so funny. People would probably expect that to be your number one.
Yeah, because I'm tall. For sure.
Did you expect to play professional sports in a different arena growing up? Like, did you expect to be a professional soccer player, or what was your goal when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I didn't know. I just wanted to do what my heart was chasing and what made my heart happy. And, it was never like, I was never the kid that was forced to do this or that. Like my dad and mom were just like, hey, we'll support you in whatever you want to do. And being an athlete was like something that just filled my cup. So naturally, like CrossFit filled my cup super quick when I got in the gym too. But I never saw myself going big with anything. I was going to row in college, which we'll get into later. But that didn't end up working out, and it allowed me to pursue CrossFit more. But yeah, never really envisioned anything else.
Love it. And you and Dallin are pretty close, right?
Yeah, he's one of my best boys here. He's a good dude, and we've been friends for just about 5 years now, since like the 2017 CrossFit Games when we met.
Yeah, so you guys connect because he's from Utah, you're from Seattle. You guys connected through CrossFit Games, right?
Yeah, like the first time I met him was at the 2017 Games, and I saw all his scores, and he was like this man beast at like 15 years old, and I was like, this kid's got to be on roids. There's no way you can get this strong, because I was still a skinny little twig, and like I just didn't know how it was possible to be 190 pounds and that strong and have that big of a snatch. And then I just realized, like, hey, we're built differently. Like, he's probably jealous of my running while I'm jealous of his weightlifting and all that. So, we played off each other's strengths, and we learn a lot from each other in CrossFit and outside of CrossFit, just being better people.
I love to see that, man.
Yeah.
You guys have a, this new group in Naples. Who all's down there with you?
Yeah. So it's Dallin, Emma Carey, Phil Toon, our coach Matt, and our coach Dominic, who isn't as talked about, but he's behind the scenes. He does so much for us, just like Matt. Then we have our coach Nicole, who kind of takes care of our bodies. Like when we're broken, she's like our rehab exercise specialist. And then my roommate Ethan. And then that's kind of it for right now. It's just 5 of us, and we have throughout the season we'll have other athletes that Matt or Dom coaches come and train with us.
You guys had Roman come visit, right?
Yes, Roman was here like 2 weeks ago, and just testing the water, seeing what he needed, and I think he ended up at Mayhem now. Just like that was his best fit for coming here.
Yeah, I think I saw they posted their roster of, people that went beyond quarterfinals, and he was on the roster. I think that threw some people for a.
Oh, for real?
Well, yeah, because he's a brute strength athlete, right?
Yeah, that's odd. The thing is like there's the language barrier, obviously, so we didn't know what he was going through, but obviously like something about being here for him just wasn't the right fit, and like I think that he like he lives in the cold in Russia too, and it's pretty hot here. I think that could have been one of the factors. And Cookeville, where they're at, is more up his style and I think more suitable for him. But I think that we'll eventually find out like what is he doing and what is his kind of intention with the year and where he's going to end up. He could possibly come back here. I don't know yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's so unique. The guy doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
He's from Russia. Like, it's
For
just
sure.
so many interesting parts.
Exactly. We took him first Chipotle while he was here too. And we just used Google Translate and it was fun.
Cooper told me about that. That's so
I love
funny.
it. It was a great time.
James, if you were a character in any movie, who would you be?
Oof. There's so many. This is a great question. Man, I was just talking to Fisha Goffi about if I would be a character from a movie. I would. I don't know. She said I would be a squirrel from the Ice Age, but I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies. I guess I would pick like a Marvel character like Captain America because he's a badass and he saves people and he's like indestructible and super strong and jacked and a nice guy.
All right, there you go.
I'll take that.
If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Okay, energetic, compassionate, and let's see, 3rd word. I can't mess this one up. I'll go with determined.
Love it. What kind of student were you in school? Did you care about? I mean, you were an athlete. Did you care about academics, or were you just kind of like get by?
Very much so. I think that I never want to like be anything but the best in something. Like that's where my drive in CrossFit comes from, is like I want to be the best in this, and anything that I do or pursue, like I don't want to do it to half effort. I want to give full effort. I want to see the HWPO or see the hard work pay off. Actually, that's one of my favorite songs too right now. It's just been I've been listening to. It's called "Hard Work Pays Off" by Future. So I got like B pluses, A minuses, A's. Like I was pretty much in that range my whole middle school, high school, now in college, just trying to strive for what I can do without stressing myself out too much.
Love it.
Yeah.
If you weren't pursuing a career in CrossFit, what do you think you'd be doing? What did you think you'd be doing as a kid? Like firefighter, astronaut? What was it?
At first, it was like firefighter, policeman, like something fighting crime type of thing. And then it transitioned in high school before I knew this was going to become my career to like real estate. Like I was really interested in real estate and like investing and finance. And I still am. Like I love that stuff. And I think that like I'll pursue that in some capacity while I'm still doing CrossFit, because I think it's super cool. And just like the opportunities are endless when you know how to talk to people and you know the ins and outs, and you have a lot of friends, especially in the real estate world. And so, yeah, those were my things. And then when CrossFit came around, I was like, if you want to make a career in this, you have to pursue it with all you have.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love that. Why early on, why law enforcement? Is that what your dad or mom do?
No, it was I can't like pinpoint why I wanted to. I just thought it was so cool that like they protect us and like you get to protect people and just like be the hero. Like being a hero sounds really cool to me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. What do your parents do?
My dad, he is a successful all-state agent. He basically runs like 5 offices back at home in Seattle. He has like a bunch of people who do all-state stuff for him, and he's been doing it for like 30 years. And then my mom is in the medical field. She's like a nurse assistant. I think they call it a tech. And she's been doing that for like 4 or 5 years, and she loves it too. She definitely puts in the hours. It's like 14-hour shifts, and it's crazy.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I got one brother, and he is a college athlete. He's a runner. So he is very, very fast and makes me look very, very slow.
And your dad's quite an athlete. I mean, in CrossFit, he's pretty fit, right?
He is. He's insane. He just took this year off for the first time, which I'm actually super proud of him, because he's been working so hard for the last 12 years and just giving himself a break from competing. I know he has one already planned for October, but this is his break year. And so he's been in everything too. He's done every sport. He's tried everything, and he's always been super good at what he does because he pursues things with full effort.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking strong. I know that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, he's thick, thick boy.
Did you have a nickname growing up?
Man, not appropriate ones, but yes, definitely. Let's see. I mostly just Sprague. That's where my Instagram comes from. Like my last name's Sprague, but I was just called like Sprague on every team that I did, or Jimmy.
Okay.
Some people call me James because like they're like, if it's James, it's multiple James, and I'm like, wait, bro, it's just James. But yeah, this is I kind of just stick with James. If people call me Jim, I'm like, hey, that's kind of telling me I'm old and I'm retired. I don't want to be Jim ever.
I'll be honest, the goatee is kind of Jim.
Oh, sheesh. Shot down. Here's the thing. I've never been like, oh, I have to have a goatee. But I'm like testing the waters and seeing like, okay, can I live with this for a couple weeks? I'll take the beard's way better. The beard's way better. But this is more the dad vibe, you know?
I feel it. I saw it early on, and I'm like, okay, James.
Thank you.
We'll
rock with it.
Yeah.
We'll rock with it. We'll see what happens.
Real Tony Stark vibes.
I love it.
What's your earliest memory?
Oof. Let's see. It might sound really sad. But like my parents getting divorced like 10 years ago. Yeah. Like that was like things before that. I can't really remember my parents together. And I remember like things about them together, like trips to Hawaii and everything, but not like specific memories from that. But I would say that, or getting like injuries I had in like really early years, like cracking my head open or breaking my arm. Like I remember every little detail about those.
How'd you break your arm?
I fell out of a really big tree and actually into a thorn bush. And the breaking my arm didn't hurt. It was all the thorns I got on my body. That's what I remember. And then I told my friend, I was like, go tell my mom that I broke my neck. And my mom like came sprinting out thinking I was dead. And I was just like, oh, broken arm. I got some thorns in me. Can you help a brother out?
How old were you?
I was in first grade.
That's awesome.
It was a good time.
I broke my arm. I think I was about 10, so close to the same age.
Yeah.
Like riding bikes. And
oh, for sure.
Yeah, we almost got hit by a car, and so I swerved.
Oh no.
And my buddy hit me with his bike, and I fell off and broke my arm. But
that's better than getting hit by the car, that's for sure.
100%.
Dang, dude.
So I slept on the top bunk because I have a couple brothers.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that guardrail. And so I rolled off the top bunk and onto my arm like 2 nights later, and like re-broke the arm.
Oh.
Can you imagine just waking up like to pain? You know what I mean? Like you wake up to
so bad.
Like, and you're like, and you're 10 too. Like, so it just sounds like a little girl screaming. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like
that is bad.
Miserable. Yeah.
No, thank you.
That.
Broken anything sucks, but like just broken bones in general are no fun. But I'd rather break a bone than tear something because they heal quicker.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a couple tears. Those aren't fun either.
Have
you ever been in trouble? What's the most trouble you ever been in your life?
I just gotta say, I love these questions so far. These are so good and so juicy. The most trouble I've been in. Okay. So it depends on if you're defining trouble as like trouble with my parents or like what I define as personal trouble, like that troubled me and really struck me. So which version would you want?
Like I would just say, I am interested in both now. Let's go both.
Okay, I got you. So with my parents, yeah, wow. So in 8th grade, I guess I had competition with one of my friends. His name was George, and I haven't talked to the guy for a while, but he was one of the funniest guys I've ever met. And we would have competitions to see who could get more referral slips or yellow slips, which mean you got like in trouble, but it's not like you're like in super trouble. It's like a detention basically. And like we would have competitions for who could do like the stupider stuff without like pushing the limit and getting like a red slip is what you called it. Or it was like, I forgot what it was called. It's been so long, but I got so many of those and like I almost couldn't like graduate the 8th grade. And it wasn't like anything terrible. Like the worst thing I ever did was, let's see, I think I like turned on like a really silly song at lunch on the speakers and like started dancing on the table and And then like all the teachers came in and like, I didn't know it would like say a cuss word or whatever, but the song like started cussing, and I was like, oh crap, like that's not good. And it was like at lunch with all these 8th graders. Let's see. In 9th grade, I got suspended for flashing my butt at one of my friends. Not proud of that. That was my only like out of school. Like,
when you said flash, I thought the opposite. So I'm like, dang, bro.
You got suspended for showing those muscular pecs. Oh, you meant like the front side.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
My, no, not that.
Like, that's bold, bro. No, I mean,
bro,
like,
for real.
So you mooned somebody. We call that
I mooned
mooning,
somebody.
right?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So the other
I haven't
one's
seen
like
anybody moon anybody in forever.
Bro,
like that used to be.
Mooning's lit, man.
That was like the thing.
It was the
Mooning's
thing.
lit.
It's cool. It's like how you show like you're my homie, I'll moon you. Like I don't think you moon anyone that you're like, oh, I don't like them, I'm just gonna moon them. It's never like that. It's like I'll flip them the bird.
So good. Like
but honestly,
moon somebody.
Yeah, dude, go out, tell your homie this is because I love you, and show him your butt. But I would say the other like, okay, so that was like trouble with my parents. I would say trouble on myself. Man, this is really hard because I don't want to like expose anything.
Yeah, be smart.
Geez.
We're live.
Yeah,
I
live.
want juicy stuff, but we're live.
Yeah, for sure. Like the last stuff was juicy. We love mooning. Man, personal trouble. Sheesh, this is so hard. I would say like, okay, this is something. So I used to drive a golf cart around my neighborhood back at home. And like it was me and my brother's golf carts, like learn how to drive. And we lived in like a golf neighborhood, but like you weren't allowed to drive golf carts on the road still. And I would take this golf cart like everywhere. Like I would take it 2 miles away to go to my friend's house, like drive on like 30-mile-per-hour roads when the thing only goes 10 to 15 miles an hour. And I would constantly get pulled over with this thing. I think I got pulled over 3 times twice was the same officer. And they're like, hey, we're going to confiscate it every time. And I was like, okay, like, I understand. I won't do it again. And I kept doing it. And I would tell my dad, and he's like, oh, you won't get caught again. You're good. Like, it's just a golf cart. And I'm like, thanks, Dad. Like, appreciate you. And so I would take this thing up. I would go to like these movies at the park we had on it. And like all the kids would jump on the golf cart with me. I'd start doing donuts. I even flipped it once, which was not good. It was just me on the golf cart with another buddy. And I actually have a video of it. It was so bad. And I think one time, like this is leading into the story. I took the golf cart up to this hill. We called it Kite Hill. And me and my friends like all brought our scooters too. And I like brought my scooter on the golf cart, which is like super random. But we lit like we were like so like 2 vehicles in one. And so we were doing scooter jumps at this Kite Hill, and there's like this cement thing at the top of Kite Hill where you can like set up jumps and whatever. And we decided to light a fire in a public park to do scooter jumps over. And I don't know where the golf cart came into this at all, but we were doing scooter jumps over this fire, and it was like 9 p.m. at night. And basically all of a sudden there's 3 cop cars coming up this hill, like, and they're like circling us, like, and like we like have no escape, and we're like, uh-oh, like we didn't know lighting a fire was bad. We were like 8th grade, and like we're like, oh, it's just like a bonfire, but it was this big fire, and they thought we were trying to commit arson at the park. So they told us, get on the ground, and they like literally thought we were trying to burn down the park. So me and my 10 friends like got on the ground, and the officers were like, what are you guys doing? Like, and they thought we were actually like criminals trying to burn down this park, and we were just doing scooter jumps. So that's my appropriate worst thing I've ever done. Pretty savage, not at the same time, but you know, we'll take it.
That's so funny.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What let's get here. What got you into CrossFit? What was like your first experience?
Man, my first ever workout, like truly when I stepped in a box, was an open workout. I think it was 16.5. And my dad was doing the open. He's always like, you should come cheer me on and see what it's all about. And I'm like, Dad, fitness is lame. Like, I never worked out for any of my sports. Like, I was like, I'm just going to go to practice. And if they make me condition, screw that, but I'll do it. And so basically go in, and just start doing this thing, and I look at like this leaderboard of the classes, and I'm like, wow, like I got crushed by all these people, and I feel really fit and strong, when in reality I really wasn't. Like I was an overweight chubby boy back in the day, and like I always was like, man, I love food, fitness sucks. Like I just ate nachos all the time, and it was like I weighed like 180 in like the 6th grade, and I was like 5'2". Like I was a short, little, stubby, chubby boy. And when I started doing CrossFit, like I was like, wow, there's so much room to grow in every avenue here. And there's so many things that I suck at that I want to be better at. And I just kind of like took it on under the wing of my dad. And my dad showed me all these movements and how to do them right, and how to not overtrain, and how to like train properly. And, just started pursuing it with full heart under my dad's watch, and got to watch him go to the 2016 games and see all the teens there. Was really cool to be like, whoa, there's some stud teens that are crushing this, doing snatches at 185 pounds. How is that even possible? Like what in the world? And then it just became a passion, grew little by little, like every year. Had an amazing training partner named Tudor Megda, who's like top 20 in the men's right now for the quarterfinals. And he's training out with James Townsend out in, I think it's Iowa. And man, I just started loving everything that it did for my life, and my energy, and my friendships, relationships. That made me just a better person and a harder worker, and didn't turn around from there.
Love it. What did you? Who's your favorite? Like, do you look up to a CrossFit athlete?
Yeah, I still do. Even though I compete with like the guys I used to look up to and still look up to, like I still have like guys that I'm like, you're a good dude, and you're a role model. Like you're a great role model. Few of them, Cole Sager. I actually have had the privilege of training with him a lot, because one of the places that my dad lives in, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, is very close to his house. So I got to go to his garage gym just a couple months ago and do some Wadapalooza training prep. He's just has such a good mindset. He's such a man of God. He's so good in his relationships, and he's such a hard worker, and he believes in himself. And the believing in yourself part in this sport is so big, and in any sport. But like, if you don't think you can beat someone, you're not going to beat him. Yeah. Like if you're like, I can hang with this guy and I can destroy him, and I'm going to do all I can to do that, like you're going to do well. So Cole Sager is one of those dudes. Feel very fortunate to have a relationship with him. Noah Olson's energy is so awesome. And then just kind of like, I haven't really talked with Brent Fikowski, but he seems very positive, and he does very well as a tall athlete, which I appreciate. And same with Matt DeLugos. Like, Matt's a homie, and he's tall and he's crushing it. So like I look up to tall dudes too, like Travis Mayer, Matt DeLugos, and Brent Fikowski, like to be in that tall gang, like the 6'2" plus gang, and still crushing it gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, there's a lot of changes being made. I don't think that any changes necessarily should ever be made to favor a type of athlete, but there should be changes made to equal the playing field. Yes. And so I love, I've been privileged to be on some of the calls with Brent and the PFAA, and
nice.
Some of the positive changes coming down the pipeline. That's going to be, I think, really great for athletes like yourself.
That's so good.
Yeah. If you were to pick, this is going to be juicy. If you were to pick top three men and women at the games this year, who are they?
Medeiros is winning again. Sorry, Patty. Medeiros is so fit. Then Pat will be second, and third. I'm going to go with, I want to put myself up there, but I know realistically, like getting to the games, like that's my goal this year. And I don't have any, like, I'm not like trying to be that ambitious, and like, cause that's like, you got to set realistic expectations for yourself.
Yeah, there's levels.
Yeah, there's levels of it. So I would say, third place, it could go anywhere. I think it's going to be a repeat of last year's podium, honestly. Yeah. Okay. For the women, I want to see, I would love to see someone beat Tia. I think it could be Mal. Or like there's a lot of like upcoming young talent that can really push Tia, but Tia's just so good too at the games and knows how to compete. So I'll go number 1, Tia. Number 2 is going to be Mal. And then number 3 is going to be Laura Horvath or Haley Adams. You can switch either or.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's juicy. That's good stuff, James.
Juicy. Thanks, brother.
Love it. I want to pivot here for a second.
Yes.
Do you have, outside of CrossFit, do you have a hero or heroes?
Ooh, man. This is gonna get deep, but I would say my dad, because he defeated something that like most people can't defeat and kills them. He was like an alcoholic for his whole life, and he's super open about it. And CrossFit actually made a story on it. But he's like one of my heroes just for like overcoming something that almost killed him, and now he's able to like share his story and help others do that. And then like I don't have like any movie heroes that I'm like wow, like I want to do that, like, and that I wish that was me. Like I'm very happy with who I am and what I'm becoming, and the life I get to live, and I feel very content. So I guess just my dad.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
You have done a lot of competition in the past 5-6 years, a lot of that being teen competition. Do you have a favorite competition?
Oof. Actually, Wadapalooza, the last one I just did 2 months ago. It was like my transition from boy to man. I felt like I did like the individual men's semifinals last year, but like this competition showed me like, hey, you're here to hang. You're not here to just you're here to hang with the big dogs and beat the big dogs, not just like stay behind them and let them do their thing. Like go out and push them. And you're capable of it. So I think that competition also, my girlfriend said she couldn't be there, and I was like, dang, that sucks. And she surprised me there, which was super cool. And then I had my whole family out there and a huge support crew. And it was like really special because I was moving into Florida right after. I wasn't going home. So like I flew out and basically said bye to everyone at home and then competed and then moved into my new home. So it was really special.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited to come. We were going to do a Zalos Games May, and you guys were going to be a part of it, but
yeah.
we pushed it to end of September. So hopefully we can still make that happen
for sure.
Down in Naples with you guys. I'm excited to watch you throw down. I think I'll probably end up visiting long before September, but
for sure. You're always welcome, brother.
I'm from Florida, so got to make my way back over there eventually.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite CrossFit workout? Like WOD, like a flagship WOD or whatever.
Yeah. I got two of them. First is Linda, 10-to-1 of deadlift, bench press, and squat clean. And they did that at regionals once. Such a fun workout. Love that workout.
That's a bro workout. I love that.
Yes, it's so fun. And then the other one is 333. I love 333. It's endurance. It's long and gritty, and it's fun.
Do you tell me what 333 is?
It is so you start with, pretty sure it's 3,000 meter row, then 300 dubs, not 3,000 dubs, and then a 3,000 meter run.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure your workout. It's
fun.
That's not for me, but
it's a good one.
Who's your favorite person to compete with or against?
Ooh, man, this changed at Wadapalooza. I like, so I made a lot of new friends at Wadapalooza. I really liked competing with Cole Sager because he's been like a mentor for me, and it's fun to like beat your mentor in a couple workouts. Really enjoy competing with my boys Dallin and Phil because we get to train together every day, and like we know what each other are capable of and where we can beat each other at, and etc. And then I really enjoyed the two boys, Jason Hopper and Taylor Self. Those guys, like I have a group chat with them, me, Dallin, Phil, Taylor, and Jason. We just talk so much smack, and we have such a good time with it. And yeah, I love those dudes. I love all my competitors. I don't think any of them I look at, I'm like, oh, that dude's no fun to compete with. Like they all bring something to the table, and they're all super nice and approachable and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
At your new camp in Naples, is there ever times where things hit the fan and the competitive nature gets the best of you guys?
More so than others. Like for me, I think that like I know when I take an L in a workout, like if Dallin or Phil beat me, like I'm gonna learn something more from it than winning. Like when I lose a workout, I'm gonna gain more experience and more knowledge and learn more from that person's performance against me. But I don't like losing. If you're a good athlete and you're driven, like it it fires you up. We actually don't do it very much as often as you'd think. Like at CompTrain, they compete like every day and do all the workouts together. Like we do it once or twice a week at most here.
Okay.
For sure.
And that's always interesting to see, obviously, because a lot of camps have a lot of overlap. Some camps have very little overlap.
Yep.
I think balancing the two is probably the happy medium.
Yeah.
What would you like to see at the games, this year? If you could choose an element that maybe hasn't been introduced, so not a repeat workout, but like we're talking like last year we saw the handstand, push-up, walks.
Yeah, freestandings. I love those. I would say anything new that's aerobic, like they introduced the kayak. That was super fun. I think maybe like bringing back a pool would be pretty cool. Just anything swimming. I would love to see them do a really long event like the marathon row again, like super duper long, just drain people and then take all their energy away and then see how they survive. I think that was super cool. And then a Spartan race. I think a Spartan race would be so sick at the games. Like imagine them making all these mud pits and mud walls and these crazy obstacles for athletes to go around, like not just an obstacle course. Like you see a true Spartan race or Tough Mudder, it's so fun to watch. I think that would get people really hyped up. The problem is, like, can they create that on site? Which I think they could. I definitely think they could.
Just a lot of work. I mean, I loved the obstacle course.
Yes.
That was one of the funnest things to watch. Especially, and of course, like this isn't the desired outcome, but especially watching Pat and Matt fall from the top of the.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing good about watching someone fall, but just entertainment wise, it was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, he just fell probably 15 feet,
literally,
and then got up and kept running. It's like
so crazy,
wild competition.
Yes,
like
it is. It's ruthless.
Like, but in that setting, you're like, I gotta go.
Yes. I'd also like to answer your question a little bit more. There's two other things I like to see: an NFL combine and something like in the nature of wrestling, like a bracket of wrestling. How cool would that be? Like, I know it's like kind of fitness related, like survival of the fittest type of thing, but like I know Chandler Smith will win because he was a college athlete in wrestling, but like that'd be kind of sick to see. Like, hey, you have 30 minutes to understand how to beat your opponent and pin them or get more points, and get like official wrestling judges out there. Like, it doesn't sound like CrossFit-y, but wrestling is CrossFit. If anyone's wrestled, it's CrossFit. All right. It's so gassy.
Yeah. Khalifa brought that up on the Savan podcast a while back. Like, it'd be cool to see a physical element like that. I think I've thought about it. I think, Christian Harris was on the Spartan show. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like a Spartan Race series.
Oh, and he was in a wrestle.
Yeah, there's like a wrestling match.
That.
It's not, because your competitive wrestling requires a ton of skill and practice.
Yeah.
But like maybe a almost sumo wrestling style where if you push someone out, you know what I mean? Like something like that where it doesn't require to know a full Nelson or whatever. You know what I mean? Like or like arm bars and crazy stuff like that. Like you're just like leveraging your body. There are things like you're not allowed to hit. Maybe you can just like use, like leverage each other's body to push somebody out of the ring, and maybe it's 2 out of 3 or something like that.
That'd be so fun. Yeah, there's so many things they could do. Like a physical element would be, in my opinion, a great test of fitness. Like if we're applying fitness to general life stuff, like sometimes in general life you have to protect yourself. So maybe that's a element of fitness that they're missing out on.
It would be awkward-ish to watch because I don't know if you ever watch girls fight, but it's always awkward. At least for me. Oh
yeah, like pulling hair and slapping. I'm like, hey, like just like say you're sorry, man. Like when guys fight, it's like, okay, like there's some manliness going on here. Like don't pull hair. There's like golden rules of guys fighting, but girls don't follow those golden rules. It's like,
oh man,
I
couldn't imagine Emma wrestling somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
but she could if it was to win the games. Oh, she would turn it on. Like that'd be crazy.
Bite your ear off.
Oh, for real. Pull up. Who did that? Mike Tyson, right?
Mike Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, dude, crazy. Bye,
James. So typically towards the end of the show, I've got like a handful of sort of longer-winded questions, but then some rapid fire ones, and I try to like sandwich them in. But if you could put anything on a big blank billboard on the busiest intersection that you know of, what would the billboard say?
Do it with a smile.
Do it with a smile. That's perfect for you.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the moment, and really just try and not like think about tomorrow. Try and think about today and what you can do to make today a better day.
Love that. Do it with a
Yeah.
smile. Beach or mountains?
Oh, this is so tough. I've been here for 2 months, and the beach is like cool, but I miss the mountains. So mountains.
Okay. What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, Cookie Crisp. So good. The what's it called? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, pretty good too. That stuff's bussin'.
Cookie Crit. That's
It's
funny
so
to me.
good, man. So good.
Are you a reader?
I am
Do you
a
read?
reader. I've been way more into it these last few months. I'm reading one called Win the Day right now, and it's just like what I was just talking about. Focus on now and what you can do to make now a better day. And then when you wake up the next day, the day before is flushed. How can you make today great? Not focusing on what's ahead or what's behind, but now.
Yeah. Is that Marcus?
Yeah. You're on the right track. I could go grab it real quick, but it's kind of far away. But I think it's Marcus someone.
I've got it.
You got a stack of books there.
Yeah.
What you got? Dang, you have all the books. Have you read all of those?
No, I've read like 70% of them.
Oh my gosh. I've read like maybe 30 books in my life, and 20 were probably forced.
Is it Own the Day, Own Your Life? Is it Aubrey Marcus?
Let me look real quick.
Oh, Mark Batterson.
This has been so good. Actually, the supplement brand that I work with, the CEO guy sent me. His name is Matt. He sent me this, and he goes, "I thought of you when I read this, and I want you to have it." And it's just like describes 7 daily habits to help you stress less and accomplish more, which we can all use.
Yeah, Mark Batterson's great. I actually totally long story. I'll make super short. When I got saved, I'm also a Christian.
Yeah.
One of the first books that I read, like before digging into the Bible, was The Grave Robber by Mark Batterson.
Okay. Is he a Christian author?
Yeah. So he has a church in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he wrote In the Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day, which is a reference for one of David's mighty men, Old Testament stuff.
Yep.
He's written a handful of Christian books. He's a great writer.
Okay, that's awesome.
So love that. Love to see that.
That's so cool, man.
Do you have a morning and a nighttime routine?
Oh yes, I've basically stuck with it the last 4 or 5 years. I try and eat the same thing every morning. I eat some eggs with some rice, with some arugula, with some meat, with some peppers, with some tortillas, with some cheese, all the good stuff spattered on a plate. Looks like a big, just mushy plate of goodness. And then I always shower in the morning before I go to the gym. I usually do a cold shower. I'll do some like skincare stuff because acne is stupid and I don't want that. And then I usually stretch in the mornings. And then I just kind of take time to myself to chill out. I'll check in with my clients online before I go to the gym, and then make sure all of them are taken care of. And then I start pursuing myself and my dream of the rest of the day in CrossFit. And then at night, I clean off. I take another shower from all the sweat that's built up, and check in with clients again, and then eat dinner, call someone in my family or one of my friends, make sure to check in with someone from home every day, and read my book and talk to my lady who lives back at home.
That's quite a routine.
Yes, sir.
I think routine is super valuable for for anybody in an elite level, whether it's entrepreneurship or athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
So stick with it.
I know it.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
Okay, that's my man.
Next
what was your favorite cartoon show as a kid?
Oh, Peppa Pig.
You're gonna be the only one.
Peppa Pig was dope. Taught me so many things, man. I watched it with my dad, and he would always snort like the daddy pig, and I would always crack up laughing. Like, this was like not like middle school. I wasn't like in middle school, like Peppa Pig is so dope. It was like early days, like preschool, elementary school type of thing.
What summer or winter?
Summer.
If you could talk to animals, all animals, or understand every human language, which would you choose?
Animals all day. I don't feel like I need to know more than what I know here. Like I know some Spanish, and it helps so much because there's a lot of Spanish and people from South America here. And I'm like, this is like, I could communicate with everyone, even if they don't know English. It's so nice.
James, when you think about success in CrossFit, let's say the past 5 years of people that have podiumed, or really every great CrossFitter that you can think of, including yourself.
Yep.
And you were to make a pie graph of a percentage of how much would you attribute CrossFit success to hard work, and how much would you attribute to genetics?
Oh, I'd say it's 80% hard work, 20% genetics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least, man, how do you want people to remember you, James?
Happy-go-lucky guy who brings light to the world and wants to know every little thing about everyone, and just a guy who pursues everything with full heart, passion, and just loves to be around people.
Well, you're doing a good job of it, man, because that's exactly how you come off.
Thank you so much.
James, man, hey, thanks for being on the show today. I really enjoyed this.
It's a great podcast, great episode.
I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully
so
some
good.
of the questions were pretty unique for you.
Oh, they were beautiful. Hopefully no one digs dirt up on me and finds more out about my suspicious past with my golf cart.
Yeah, and your arson issues. And
man, I've got so many issues. I love fire. Pyromaniac here.
All right, brother. Well, hopefully I'll see you at one of these semifinals here in the next couple months.
Oh, you know it.
Good luck with your training and everything until then. And as always, let me know if you need anything from me.
Thank you so much, Jared. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, James. Good having you. See you, bro.
You too, man. See ya.